does EJ or Bud being undisputed at 147 mean without them fighting each other? Let's talk.
Straighter, not a roundhouse right hand.
And that's what we've been talking about. The straight shot is the one where he gets leverage on it.
I don't want to kill
Pull
somebody
back
for
a little
few
bit.
seconds.
Nah, I want a body on my record.
Now, I want to see you fight motherfuckers. I do. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. As long as you're trying to fight the greats, the best competition.
Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Yo, it's the best, fight the best. If you ain't with the moto, just click the link, bitch, and get buried like the rest. It ain't gonna work how you want it. These trolls already tried, too many come but don't leave. So if you here, you gotta die. I'm spitting straight facts. These bitches crying cause they hate that. The LDBC's the top topic, bitch, hate that. We the ones that bring the truth to these fans. So while you hate, I'ma laugh and keep counting these bands. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link, get prepared to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you.
Welcome to the graveyard.
So, at 147, the fight that people keep talking about, well, the only fight that people are talking about, is Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. There is a very, very high chance that that fight doesn't happen. And me, I don't believe it's going to happen until these motherfuckers just walk into the ring. I don't believe it. I do not believe Terrence Crawford wants to fight this man at all. That's my opinion, and I'm standing on it until I see Terrence Crawford walk, until I see Errol Spence in the dressing room and Terrence Crawford walk into the ring. Until I see that, I do not believe Terrence Crawford wants to fight this man. But that's a whole nother video. At this particular moment, there is a very high chance that this fight does not happen. More than likely, what would happen is that Errol Spence is going to move up to 154 and start a campaign for Undisputed at 154. And Terrence Crawford is going to end up fighting somebody for a belt at 147. That's what more than likely is going to happen. But I'm going to give both scenarios, because Terrence Crawford may just go to 154 and fight for a vacant belt up there and try to wait for Errol Spence to rinse, wash, and repeat the exact same scenario that just happened at 147. So I'm going to give you both. Let's just say that Errol Spence goes to 54, fights for a vacant belt because Jermell Charlo moves up to 60. He fights for a vacant belt at 154. All right, not worried about the outcome of that fight. I'm just saying, if he goes up there, we're just all speaking hypothetical. He goes up there, he gets a belt at 154. So who's to say that Terrence Crawford is still not going to say, well, listen, I still want to be undisputed at 147. So if Errol Spence is going to duck me and run away and blah, 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 well, I'm going to still become undisputed at 147. I told everybody this is what I wanted to do, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so that would leave the IBF in Jerron Boots Ennis' hands. It would leave the WBC in Keith Thurman's hands, and it would leave the WBA in Stanis Baratheon's hands, with Terrence Crawford having the WBO. I'm telling you that Terrence Crawford will go after Stanis Baratheon immediately. Immediately. It's the lowest hanging fruit. He's already working with PBC. There ain't no excuse. Oh, I'm working with PBC. Oh, try to duck me. Excuse. No, he's already over there. Okay, cool. Well, he ain't over there, but he's working with them, or claiming they working with them. So then that will leave Terrence Crawford fighting Stanis Baratheon. I think Terrence Crawford will beat Stanis Baratheon very easily. Very easily. Extremely easily. All right? Stanis Baratheon can punch. Got it. So could green beans. Stanis Baratheon is a slightly better green beans. Terrence Crawford will go after Stannis Baratheon immediately, which will then set up a fight between Keith Thurman, potentially, and Jerron Boots Ennis. Keith Thurman is out here running his mouth talking about, listen, I'll tell you what, boys. Listen, you guys, all the up-and-coming guys, Keith Thurman ain't no gatekeeper. Keith Thurman still the top guy. Keith Thurman, we don't do gatekeepers in Keith Thurman land. Over here in Keith Thurman land and La La land, Keith Thurman land, what we do, listen, we see that gate for over here, Keith Thurman, that gate is sealed shut. That's a brick wall. Over here, Keith Thurman. Bro, why are you talking in third person? You are Keith Thurman. The fuck are you talking in third person for? Listen, over here with Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman, what Keith Thurman over here, man. Keith Thurman, he ain't no. The fuck is we talking about? Whatever. So, this motherfucker out here running around talking about if these guys, these up and coming guys, Boots, Virgil, Speedy Rashidi, these up and coming guys, Connor Ben, all these guys that are claiming that they want to fight him, send him a contract. That's what he's saying. Let me explain to you guys how stupid that fucking sounds. Keith Thurman is the A side to Jerron Boots Ennis. That's a fact. Yes, the fuck he is. Keith Thurman is the A side to Speedy Rashidi Ellis. Yes, the fuck he is. Keith Thurman is the A side to Virgil fucking Ortiz. He's the A side to every last one of these motherfuckers. Alright? If you are the A side, and he is, motherfucker, you're Daffy Duck, Laffy Taffy ass. You the stupid motherfucker who sends the contracts. That's you. Your dumb ass sends them. Out here lying to the public like, listen, ain't no contract come across my desk. There's no contract come across my desk. I'm watch me sign it, boy. I'll tell you, these boys, listen, you's a bitch, nigga. You ain't gonna call Jerron Boots Ennis a boy in his face. You won't call Boots Ennis a boy if that nigga's in the same state as you. Fuck is we talking about? Bitch, nigga jump on and say, listen, that boy, I tell that boy this and that boy, this boy is the boy, I tell that boy. Well, how about you call Jerron Boots Ennis a boy in his face? How about you call him a boy when he's sitting on the same stand as you? The same stage. In the same fucking building. How about you do that? I bet you won't. Bet you won't. And as soon as that nigga Boots walks around this whole ass nigga, all of a sudden, he's gonna be smiles from ear to ear. Listen, I tell you, there he is. There he is. There he got next right there. That's that man. That's a grown man right there. It's Ron Zeus Simmons. It's a grown man. There he is. I tell you, he got next. Listen, that fight down the road is gonna be a great fight down the road. But right now, if Keith's one-time servant, I'm WBC champion right now. Listen, we might give you for case. Listen, I want the big fights. I'm all about. Right now, I'm number one. And he's number 3 because, got Terrence Thompson number 2. So I'm number 1. Man, shut the fuck up, you bitch-ass nigga. This nigga soft as baby shit. But niggas out here dick riding this motherfucker. Whatever. So Keith Thurman will become the WBC champion by beating that David Avanesian dude. He's going to get hurt in that fight. Guaranteed get hurt. He's hurting every fucking fight. He's going to guarantee get hurt, get on his bike, start dipping the fuck around, and beat this man on points. That's what's going to happen. Then he's going to keep calling himself one-time Thurman. This nigga hasn't knocked nobody out, and I don't know how the fuck long, and ain't nobody saying shit about it, but they'll shit on Errol Spence in a second. Oh, Errol Spence said this man down, he ain't knocked nobody out, but they ain't going to say shit about Keith Thurman, though. Whatever. Anyways, so keep it going. Keith Thurman's going to beat David Avanesian. Speedy Rashidi Ellis is going to move up in the rankings, either in the WBA, more than likely the WBA, because, Keith Thurman's weird ass, not Keith Thurman, but Terrence Crawford weird ass, he not going to sign no 3-fight deal, 4-fight deal with PBC. No, he's going to do a 1-fight deal, and that's it. That's it. 1-fight deal, that's it. And dip the fuck off. And talk about how people need him and blah, 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 because he knows as long as he's holding that WBO belt hostage, somebody's going to want that motherfucker. Don't nobody need it. Someone's going to want it. But whatever. So he'll beat Stannis Baratheon, probably get the WBA, and immediately go WBA Super. Immediately. WBA Super. So he has no mandatories in WBA. Which is going to cost for someone like Speedy Rashidi Ellis to move up in the WBA rankings to become the WBA regular champion so that he can try to petition to force a fucking unification, which They don't have to do. They're not obligated to do. They ain't got to do none of that shit. But, you know, that's the road this motherfucker going to take. I guarantee you that Stannis Baratheon route, he'll beat Stannis Baratheon quite easily and become the WBA and WBO champion. And everybody's going to be out here shitting on Errol Spence. Oh, see how easy it was? See how easy? Yeah, because Stannis Baratheon is going to be the B-side to Terrence Crawford. Without question. He is a B-side fighter. Without question. Right? So because he's the B-side, and he'll take B-side split for a unification, which is going to be a big bag, he's going to take it. And they're going to shit on Errol Spence, disrespect this man, and claim as Errol Spence was the holdup and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Although Terrence Crawford is a B-side right now, but he don't want to be the B-side. He wants to be the A-side. Either he's, listen, I'll be A, you can be A1, I'll be A2. So we can do 50-50. No, motherfucker. Your name is Bud. Bud. B-U-D. You have 3 options of a side you are. You are either the B side, the U side, or the D side. That is it. That's all you are. Whatever. So he'll be Stannis Baratheon, become the WBA Super immediately, and the WBO Wallapalooper, which is what he is at WBO. Didn't even know the motherfuckers had a super champion, but they damn sure do. You'll see another video. Right? So WBO, WBA. Now you have Jerron Boots Ennis. You have Jerron Boots Ennis. Terrence Crawford fighting Jerron Boots Ennis. He will get battered badly. So that fight's not going to happen more than likely at all ever. What more than likely is going to happen is he's going to fight Keith Thurman. Which is a fucking 50-50 fight. The fucking 50-50 fight. Because Terrence Crawford is too overly aggressive. He's going to hurt Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman gets hurt all the time. But the problem with fighting Keith Thurman for Terrence Crawford is Keith Thurman's going to get on his bike and run. He might jump out the ring and run. He might jump out the ring and run, bro. He might just, he's going to get hurt, probably to the body, and he's going to either jump over the ropes, the second or the third, roll out this bitch, something, but he's going to be on his bike and he's going to dash. That's going to happen. Terrence Crawford is going to be trying to commit, stepping forward, trying to overcommit, trying to commit, and fuck around and get clipped his goddamn self. That's a fucking 50-50 fight. All right? But let's say Terrence Crawford gets through Keith Thurman. Let's say he hurts Keith Thurman and Keith Thurman gets on his bike and Terrence Crawford jumps out the ring and chases him down. Let's say they say that happened, right? So Terrence Crawford now has 3 belts, the WBC, the WBO, and the WBA. That leaves Jerron Boots Ennis. I don't give a fuck when they fight. He ain't beating Boots. Now, I know there's niggas in these comments that listen to my voice right now, and the only response they're going to say is, oh, well, Earl's not beating Boots either. That's the only response they're going to get. Earl's not going to beat him either. Whatever. Fuck what you niggas got to say. Terrence Crawford is not beating Boots, and I don't give a fuck when they fight. Because Jerron Boots Ennis is better than him at everything he does, and he's younger. You have a younger fighter who is better than you at everything you do. So when you try to become undisputed against Jerron Boots Ennis, he is going to beat the shit out of you badly. And they're going to be like, oh, well, you know, he was past his prime. It's Errol Spence's fault. It's Errol Spence's fault because Errol didn't fight him when they should have fought, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's Errol Spence's fault. All right. Which is going to take away from all the fucking hype and hoopla of an Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight. It will not be the same for Undisputed for Terrence Crawford if he's to be successful beating Jerron Boots Ennis, which he will not. But even if he does, it won't be the same. It's not going to smell the same. The ring ain't going to look the same. The weather outside ain't going to be the same. Ain't nothing going to be the same. Nothing. Food ain't going to taste the same. Motherfucking apples going to taste like oranges and peaches. The shit is not the same at all. At all. And his chances of beating Jerron Boots Ennis are slim and fucking none. Now let's just say, let's flip the script. Let's say Terrence Crawford says, you know what? Jermel Charlo vacated all the belts. Let me go up there and fight Patrick Teixeira for the vacant WBO strap. So that I can rinse, wash, and repeat all this stupid ass shit I did at 147. I can rinse, wash, and repeat and blame EJ for everything at 154. So I'm going to vacate his WBO belt. So Errol Spence will fight Virgil Ortiz for the undisputed in Arlington. Now, that fight will do bigger fucking numbers than Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Oh, no way. No. Ain't no way. Oh, no way. You lying. You ain't never met that Martin Luther King. You lying. No way that fight does more. Oh, yes, the fuck it does. Virgil Ortiz is Mexican. Terrence Crawford fans do not buy his fights. They stream it. That fight happening in motherfucking Arlington and fucking Texas Stadium is astronomically large. And for Undisputed, yeah, that fight is monetarily bigger. Monetarily. Oh, no way, BFTB. No way. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence is way bigger. It's a way more monetarily fight. It's way more bigger. It's way more money. There's more people. They stream this nigga shit. I don't remember where the last time Oscar De La Hoya said Virgil Ortiz don't sell for shit. I don't remember the last time a motherfucker said, listen, I could buy a house on the money I could buy a house in Beverly Hills on the money I lost for Virgil Ortiz. I don't remember those conversations. Never heard them before, but I damn sure heard them with Terrence Crawford. And if you guys think that didn't hurt this man promotionally or monetarily, if you believe it, then you're a fucking fool. You are nothing but a dick rider. That hurt that man. Absolutely fucking hurt that man. Absolutely. Which is the reason why the fight hasn't been signed already, because this motherfucker wants more money. Now, does he deserve more money? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say what he deserves. By the numbers, he don't. But if he believes he does, fuck it. I don't care. It ain't my money. But you're not going to have these issues and conversations with a Virgil Ortiz. You're not going to have these. Yeah, you're not going to have these. DAZN is going to put up that bag. They're going to try to win that money, which is going to boost the fucking numbers. Because if DAZN puts up the bag, right, then Showtime, PBC, Fox are going to have to match that bag. Because EJ is going to want Undisputed. Again, he don't need Undisputed, but he's going to want Undisputed. So to Showtime, they're going to have to match that bag. And when they match that bag, then DAZN can fuck around and counter that bag, which is going to keep raising it higher and higher and higher until it gets to a point where somebody says, all right, bro, I ain't going no higher than this. So monetarily, it's a bigger fight. Monetarily, not legacy-wise. But if EJ doesn't fight Terrence Crawford and becomes Undisputed at 147, because Terrence Crawford goes to 154, fights Brian Teixeira, one of these bum-ass niggas in the WBO, and becomes a WBO champion at 154, and waits for Errol Spence so he can rinse, wash, repeat the same stupid ass shit he already did at 147, and Errol Spence becomes Undisputed at 147, his first weight class, knowing that Terrence Crawford is still there at 154. Now, it's not going to be as bright. The lights are not going to be as bright, but they'll be brighter. They will be brighter because Errol Spence already shines brighter. So they will be brighter. They're not going to be as bright as Errol's fighting Terrence Crawford, but they will be brighter than Terrence Crawford fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. Yeah, they will. Yes, they will. There'll be more money on the line, and it'll be a bigger fight. It's Errol Spence versus Virgil Ortiz for Undisputed is bigger than Terrence Crawford versus Jaron Boots Ennis. And Errol Spence will beat the brakes off of Virgil Ortiz. And Terrence Crawford will get the brakes beaten, the entire fucking brake system, everything, bro. The auxiliary, everything, the whole system will get beat out of this man. Jaron Boots Ennis will beat the brake pads, everything out of Terrence Crawford. That's a horrible fight for Terrence Crawford. Absolute horrible. But it very well can happen. Very well can happen. Very well. And guess what, y'all? Guess what history will say? Because if Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford end up fighting at 154, and Errol Spence becomes Undisputed at 147, and Terrence Crawford just has one belt, Well, history will say when they fight, because Errol Spence will more than likely have 1 or 2 belts at 154. History will say that Errol Spence became undisputed at 147. Terrence Crawford became undisputed at 140. 1 belt Terrence Crawford met multi-belt Errol Spence at 154. That's what history will say. Which will still be favorable in Errol Spence's direction. 1 belt Terrence Crawford at 154 versus multi-belt Errol Spence at 154. Undisputed at a glory weight of 147 Errol Spence, or undisputed at a made-up weight. That weight did not exist. All right, it was lightweight, welterweight. 140 was made up, just the same way Bridger weight was made up. Yeah. Now you guys tell me which direction history is going to shine on. When all these motherfuckers run around talking about, oh, Errol Spence is scared, he's running, he's hiding, Errol Spence, blah, 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 yada. When all these niggas die the fuck out, and history is still there, and history only shows that it was an undisputed fighter at 147, a glory weight. Now, and a unified fighter at 154 fought a undisputed fighter at 140, a non-glory weight, and a 1 belt guy at 154. All in Errol Spence's favor, to include the fight. Because at that time, they're both going to be older. Both older. Yeah, both older. And motherfuckers talking about Errol Spence can't take a punch because he don't get his head off the line, blah, blah, blah. Terrence Bud Crawford has been getting hit with straight rights since preschool. The motherfucker cannot get away from it. He goes and seeks out straight rights to test the water. Talk about a motherfucker Errol can't get his head off the line and blah, blah, blah. Terrence Crawford gets hit with the same punch in every fucking fight. The same exact one. Them big boys at 154. Patrick Teixeira might knock this nigga the fuck out. I don't see it. But still, they hit differently up there. But I know, niggas is gonna cry about it in the comments, but it's okay. Keep crying. BFTB. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out.